What's going on, you guys? If you're new here, my name is Morgan and welcome back to another video. So, per usual, every start of the video now we play Who's That Dog? So, who's that dog behind me? That is the Ruby Doo, but there is Pandora, Mocha, and Mia up there as well. But you can really just see Mocha and Mia. You can Mocha and Ruby. Oh, and now Gabby. You can see Ruby the most at the top of Mocha's head, and then there's Gabby who's walking around just decided to get up there. So in today's video, we're kind of going to do a funeral recap. So today is Tuesday. The funeral was this past weekend. So today is Tuesday, May 6th. The funeral was this past Tuesday. And this is probably the most dramatic funeral that I've been to, and from these last two. And in general, I've gone to funerals in the past, but this is definitely the most dramatic funeral I have ever been to, like, no doubt about it. And there's many, many reasons. But let's get started on the first one. So the first one being I don't know, he's not my husband anymore, and I don't know what to call my ex. I don't know really what to call him anymore because I'm trying to my best to, I don't know. But anyways, his sister was not invited, along with his other sister and cousins and nieces and nephews and stuff like that. She was not invited. She actually went online to find out when the funeral was. She was not invited because she was all over dramatic and very much drama that nobody wanted her there, especially the now widow, his aunt. It was his uncle that passed, her husband. So she was not invited, but she went online to find out when the funeral was, and again was not welcome. So when I got there early. I was on the phone with a friend of mine because I didn't want to go in there early, and we were talking about dogs. And they came out and gave me a hug because it was his other uncle and his cousin, the son. They came out and gave me a hug because I hadn't seen him since before he passed away, when his mom's funeral was. So everybody came out and gave hugs. I said hello to everybody, and I was invited in. And so I'm going inside with her, and we see her truck pull up. So you can imagine how upset everybody is. And his aunt has this look on her face like, you've got to be kidding me, that I can't actually believe she showed up. So we go inside, and she starts telling everybody, her son, oh no, it wasn't her son, it was her son-in-law, her granddaughter, her daughter, that she showed up. And everybody had this look like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. And she told her granddaughter, she told her son-in-law first, you go deal with her. And her son-in-law tells his daughter, her granddaughter, you gotta go see your aunt. You go talk to your aunt. You go deal with her. And everybody's laughing and cracking up because nobody could believe that she actually showed up. And she was out of it. Like, not drunk, not on alcohol. You know what I'm talking about. She was completely out of it. It's very, very easy to tell with her. I've kind of learned to pick up the signs now over the years, especially since he's passed away. It was easy to pick up, especially when he kind of told me what to look for. So I'm with them because I'm uncomfortable and out of place, because without him there, this isn't entirely my family. So I felt a bit out of place, even though his aunt made me feel a lot better the second day and really welcomed me into the funeral and into the family a lot more, and let me sit with the family, because I was also very close to her and her husband, his aunt and uncle. So it made me feel a lot better being able to sit with the family and cousins that I've just met, but he had talked a lot about. But anyways, so she said some very heinous stuff. His sister said some very heinous stuff with me sitting there, and when she went out to smoke, and I'm like, I looked at his aunt, and his aunt looked at me like, or like gave me the call me if you need me kind of look. And by the time I came in almost immediately. I was just completely disgusted. She just said some really heinous stuff that you just don't say during a funeral. You know, everybody doesn't always have to get along, but there's a time and place, and a funeral is not the place or the time to do or say anything that is just absolutely disgusting as a person. It makes you into a vile person. So I just, for the most part, I tried to just kind of keep to myself. His aunt asked me if I was all right, and I told her that I had to resist everything in me, because a funeral was not the time to get upset. I had to resist everything. I had to resist it all to not lose it. And she said that she was glad she was leaving, because at the time, when we came in, this sister had decided she was leaving. So she said, I'm really glad she's leaving. I'm so sorry. And I told her I was sorry for her because this was her husband's funeral, and it just wasn't the time or the place. And she said that if it gets worse, that her son would deal with it. And her son's super duper nice. But it's just stuff you don't say during a funeral. And there was more stuff said during the funeral that, you know, one of his cousins came up to me, and I guess it's because he's gone. I don't really know how to pick up on this, so maybe somebody in the comments can tell me what this means. Because I'm not very good at this, like, beat around the bush thing. I'd rather you tell me exactly how you're feeling. She came up to me and said, "It's really cool that you showed up." I'm like, what does that mean? I was so confused. Never met her before. She did introduce herself, but I still didn't know who she was. He never talked about her, so I had no idea who she was. And I don't know if it's because he had passed that she said it was really cool for me to show up. And so I was super duper confused. But I'd gone because I was close to the both of them, and because that's what he would have wanted. So I was so confused, like nobody's business. I was just absolutely, like, lost at that point in time. And I haven't brought it up to anybody, but I'm going to bring it up to his aunt in a couple days and ask her who she was and what does that mean, because I am, like, so confused. Because you could say it with malicious intent, you can say it with no malicious intent. Like, because he passed, I'm not a part of the family, or I don't know. I'm so confused by the comment. I kind of just stood there with this look on my face, like, what does that mean? I called my mom, and my mom was confused. I called my mentor, and my mentor was confused. She's like, they could go two different ways. I was so confused. And I know, and so I was just so confused. But, somebody else said to me, too, that at least you weren't married as long as they were married, so it doesn't hurt as bad. So that was another very interesting comment that I started to cry over when I ended up leaving. It was during the visitation that comment was made to me, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? To me, and when I talked to my mentor, they were married for over 20 years. You know, neither of us got to say goodbye to our partners, and she got to say goodbye. So I don't know if that lessens the burden. To us, it really hurts not being able to say goodbye, but at the same time, why does it matter how long you were married? I mean, people could be married for a year and have a better connection than people married for 20 years. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, some of this stuff I can't make up. I really can't. Like, who in their right mind says this sort of stuff to people? That's what I don't get. Who says this stuff to people? Like, is this perceived as normal conversation and normal behavior during a funeral? I don't get it. I don't want to get it. But I'm like, I'm still confused right now. The ceremony itself was beautiful. I cried a lot. When they wanted us to pay our respects, I went up just for a second and I cried because I don't do well with funerals, and they mentioned him during the speeches and I cried more, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It was just, I'm so tired of funerals right now that I just can't even comprehend all of it. So now, hopefully the funerals are over and I can go back to what is perceived to be a regular normal, even though things are not entirely normal right now. Things are still kind of getting to that point, and we're not there yet. So I don't know entirely what the heck is going on most days right now. I'm trying to get back to a regular normal, or what normal could be like. This whole thing was, oh my goodness, this was a very dramatic funeral. And sister did not show up the second day. She said she had chest pains and had to go to the hospital in the middle of the night. I ended up falling and hurting myself pretty badly during after the visitation. When I got home, I ended up hurting my leg pretty badly. So, I could hardly walk, I could hardly drive. I still went. And you're telling, I think it is for the best that she didn't go, because it would have been more drama and she wouldn't have been able to keep her mouth closed about certain things. At the same time, I'm like, well, you could have told somebody that you weren't going. And I think that probably would have been a party that she wasn't going. But, like, I don't know. I went regardless, because even though that's not my blood family, I still feel like they're family. Or send you regards, or send flowers or something, even if, you know. Even though she wasn't welcome, they decided to let everybody come to pay their respects, because that's what he would have wanted. Just, even if you didn't go along, he wanted everybody to pay their respects. So oh my goodness, this was probably the most dramatized funeral I have ever been to in my entire life. I'm glad it's over. I hope it continues to be over, because I got enough going on. I don't want any more funerals. I can't handle any more funerals. 2 funerals in 2 months. Preparing for another one, but it's just going to be more of a memorial. I'm so over it. Anyways, that's our funeral recap, our drama recap for this past weekend. So thank you guys so much for watching. what do you think about those comments? The first one about it being cool that I actually came and showed up, I don't understand that. Was it meant with malicious intent? I'm so confused. Like, why would you say that to somebody? I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as usual, you guys, see you guys next time in the next video. See you guys later.